Test, test, test. Good afternoon, everybody. I think that's a perfect way to get things started out here this afternoon. And welcome to the Ronnie Show. Yeah, it's Monday afternoon after, well, let's just say a crazy weekend. Not just, in the sports world, obviously, but in my life. Yeah, so we'll kind of talk about my weekend and then talk about, obviously, what happened yesterday morning. Yeah, so let's get started with Friday night. As you know, I worked Friday night, so that's basically what I did when we were done here. Just kind of finished up some stuff and then went off to work. So yeah, that was fun. Then I got went here. In fact, I wrote it all down. I gonna have to move this and then we'll get it all. Yeah, then after that I went to dinner at Wendy's. So yeah, I just drove through and went from there. So yeah, I went back to writing things down here. So yippee, yippee ki yay. So anyway, I did that. And then something very interesting happened to me Friday night, and it's a little too personal, so we won't talk about it on here. But it could have turned out a lot worse than it actually was. We'll just say, I think we'll just keep it at that. So, yeah, that was my Friday night. And then, of course, Saturday, worked again in the afternoon. And then, of course, we had the stream. Of course, we had Sioux City and Muskegon for the second straight night. That was just a crazy game. If you watched the show on Saturday night, then obviously that was quite something, that's for sure. And especially too the Michigan and Duke game we covered too. I mean, that was quite a game as well. So it was overall a great night, a great show on Saturday night. So go back and watch it if you haven't yet. And then let's see. After that, I went out to dinner with some of my friends because we ended quite early. We ended right around 8 o'clock. Well, at least here in the Central Time Zone. So I had the rest of the evening off, which normally we would be in the middle of things. But yeah, bro, who you're talking with? There's no one. I'm talking to you guys. Duh. And you're watching, so don't ask me. Don't. So, hello, Angelica. So yeah, that was Saturday night, and then of course we all know what happened Sunday, yesterday. I think you have to be living under a rock to not know what happened yesterday morning. But of course, I didn't get up early necessarily to watch it. I've kind of did the same thing with the women's game on Thursday afternoon. I started watching pretty much right in the middle of the game. So yeah, I slept in a little bit Sunday, so I didn't fully get up early for it. But the last halves of the game were really probably the best in both of those games, both in the women's gold medal and then the men's yesterday. So, in fact, I actually thought about broadcasting yesterday's game on here, but then I thought, it's just too early. 7 a.m. in the morning, it would have been here in the Central Time Zone. It would have been a little too early for me. I don't know how much energy I would have at that time in the morning. So, I just decided not to do it. So, oh well. It happens. It happens sometimes. So yeah, that's why. And then, of course, Sunday afternoon we were gonna stream, but then after that happened, I was like, you know what? We'll just take the rest of the day off and just celebrate. So that's exactly what I did. So yeah. Although I will say, when I was out and about yesterday, I ran a curb, and yeah, that was quite interesting. I don't know. It's like there's like a bottom part. I don't know what it's called. There's like a bottom part that, like, I don't know what it does necessarily, but it's like right underneath your doors or whatever. I don't know. That broke off, but other than that, other than that, everything went smoothly yesterday. I just, like I was telling my roommate here the other, or well, yeah, it was yesterday. Uh, we just needed to hit restart on the weekend. Although not really, considering what happened yesterday, but it all worked out in the end. I survived, as I always say. Now I completely forgot because I saw, well, a troll. We try to stay away from trolls on here. Haha, I bet you get bullied at school. Your roommate, you're not 16. You're right, I'm not 16. I'm 19. So there you go. um, and no, I don't get bullied at school. I've never been bullied at school. So, yeah. But obviously you know a lot about bullying people at school. So you must be a bully yourself. So, yeah, bullies behind your back. Okay. Show me where he is. Shut you. Well, we're going to shut you, too. Turner 591. I think he was trying to say shut up, but you know what? I'll shut him up right now. So here we go. Yeah, you're a bully. Well, that's what I figured. I bet your body count is 0. You're right. It is 0 because I don't bully people. That's why. Because I'm a nice, decent person. That's why. It's at 0 because I don't mess with. I don't do that. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Ha ha ha. LMAO. Yeah, laugh all you want to. Be an ass if you want. Oh, this message is held for review. Oh, great. Don't give this. um. Oh, don't worry. I'm not giving him any idea. Okay, Justin, chill out. I don't know what you're trying to do, Justin, there, but hang on. Hello. Simirza, hi. Am I trans? No, I'm not trans. Um, sorry if I butchered that name. Sima Mirza, I think, something like that. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. I'm definitely sure of that. Um, yeah. So you're trying to do something. You're trying to find any possible way you can find to bully me right now. Well, I'm not taking the bait. I'll just say that. I am not taking the bait. You sound like, well, okay. All right, we'll time you out now, too. There you go. There was a hidden comment there that said I sound like a lesbian. Well, he sounds like an asshole. So there you go. Anyway, so back to this weekend. Well, I guess we're already kind of done with this weekend, so we'll talk about today, basically. So far, nothing really out of the ordinary, just a regular day of class for me. So, yeah, I woke up. I will say I did get in quite a nap today afterwards, because I don't know why my Mondays and Wednesdays are like this. It's just the way my schedule is crafted. I'm still not sure if I like it or not. I got one class at 8 a.m. and then I don't have another class again until 1. Well, I have 2 back-to-back at 1 and 2. So that's... I don't know. I could take it or leave it if I'm being quite honest with you. As I've said on this show before, I'd much rather have my classes kind of back to back to back, like in the morning, and then just have like the rest of the day to do whatever I want. There's something going on outside. I don't know what's going on, but so, but it's okay. I deal with it. I mean, tomorrow will be the same thing for me. Like, I'll have 3 classes in the morning from 8 to just after noon tomorrow, back to back to back. So Yeah, and then I have a meeting at 1, so quite busy tomorrow. It won't affect our regular weekday live streams we do on here, but so that's good. Um, so yeah, well, I guess I'm already kind of giving you a preview of tomorrow. We usually wait to do that until the very end, but yeah, because we have some things obviously to talk about as well, which we'll get to here shortly. But yeah, Monday's like that, and then my Wednesday is like that too, as most of you know. And then Tuesday, that second class, or Thursday, that second class I would have tomorrow, I don't have. It's just, yeah, my Tuesday, it's, 3 classes per day, back to back to back every Tuesday. And then I don't have the second one of those 3 on Thursday. So that's just the way it works out sometimes. Class schedules for me have been very weird. That's all I'm going to say. At least so far in college. So, yeah, I'm on a mission to craft like the perfect schedule that I can do for fall of next year, for my sophomore year. But we'll see. Kind of like what I said. Kind of have them back to back and then like be done for the rest of the day. But yeah, so we'll see if I can get it to be like that. Obviously, it just kind of depends. When I registered for my classes this semester, they, I guess, changed the system on how they did it. And then, of course, not even 5 minutes after it was open, the registration was open, the system crashed. So it's just one of those things, It really honestly is. And those things are just out of our control sometimes. They really honestly are. So yeah, now would be the time in the program where we talk about hot topics. So obviously the number one hot topic was, obviously the game yesterday and just some thoughts that I have kind of in the aftermath of everything that's happened yesterday. I mean, because so much associated with that game has happened. I mean, we'll just talk about the game and some of the personnel in it. So, hello, Liberty Allen. I'm good. How are you? So, obviously, if you watched the game, you saw what the format for the overtime was. Sorry, it got close up there. What in the world? Okay, sorry. I'm easily distracted. My phone's at 20%, so we better get going fast here. But no, we'll take as much time as we need. In fact, speaking of which, I'm actually going to be getting a new phone here soon. As you know, this phone I've had for basically less than a year. But under the plan, my family switched from Verizon to T-Mobile. So I guess we get a new phone for that, an iPhone 17 with the bigger screen. So yes. I'm at 6%. Well, we might be at 6% by the time we're done with this. But yeah, so back to what we were talking about with the game. So the overtime, and I've seen a lot of criticism from a lot of like analysts in the sport of hockey because obviously it's a 3-on-3 for 20 minutes and, it just keeps going, for as many overtimes as it possibly can go. But a lot of analysts were like, it should be like the regular 5-on-5 type thing. I personally don't have a preference, to be quite honest, for you. I mean, with you. Obviously with the Olympics, the rules are going to be different than, the regular sport itself. I mean, so it's just the way it is. I don't have a problem with it. Mostly everyone else doesn't either, at least as far as I know, but that's just the way it is sometimes. And the reason why that is, too, in fact, one of the analysts from, NBC that was covering the game, Eddie Olczyk, he's just phenomenal. I'm really NBC's coverage yesterday of the event, of the hockey game, was just top-notch, incredible. Obviously, that monologue that has since gone viral that Mike Tirico made, I mean, it was... his words, and obviously, as you know, after the goal was scored in the celebration, I I just had tears rolling down my eyes, obviously, as did a lot of people. Um, but yeah, he kind of criticized, he said he would like to have it be like a regular 5-on-5, just like a regular hockey game. But he admits that that might never happen. And part of the reason why, and I don't know if he said it or someone else said it, it's because the final takes place on the same day as the closing ceremony, which, yes, it does. That I can confirm. And my opinion on that has been, in terms of the Olympics, is that it really, in my opinion, there shouldn't be any Olympic events on the day of the opening ceremonies and the day of the closing ceremonies. And I know there's some events that like take place before, like even though the opening ceremonies are, well, let's just say the last few years have been on a Friday, and but like all the events and stuff start on Wednesday. I don't really like that either, that you have events before then. I think if you can fit it all in between the opening ceremony and the closing ceremonies, like whatever, however many days that is. Let's see. Well, I've got the calendar right here. So, yeah, 15 days basically from the Saturday the 7th to Saturday the 21st, and then obviously the opening ceremony on the 6th, and then the closing on the 22nd. That to me seems a little better. I like that because then it kind of just like fits in with everything, with the time frame. So, and it doesn't mess up, the network schedule as much. So they get like an extra week worth of programming or whatever. Although most of that stuff on Wednesday and Thursday, that took place on cable. It didn't really take place on NBC, so that didn't really affect things too much, I don't think, at least from what I could see. But that's just a personal opinion of mine. Because then you wouldn't fall into that issue of, oh, hey, we better end this before the closing ceremony starts, if you're worried about that. But, what? See, that's the thing, and I've said this all the time on this show, that if I was the leader of the world, literally, we would have a solution for everything. Every single problem in humanity and things like that. But it's just, that's just not the way it is, unfortunately. So, yeah, and then some other news. Ooh, hang on, I need a tissue. No, I've got my open box. Hold on. I might mute the mic so that you don't hear me blow my nose out. So hang on, I'm just going to turn it off quick. Okay, I didn't want y'all to hear that. Me blowing out my nose. I didn't want y'all to hear that. Now I'll turn that off. In fact, still got a little snot up here. Okay, there we go. Now we're good. Okay, where was I? Oh, other news. We were going to talk about some other news. Well, I guess we can kind of give a preview of what's to come here on this YouTube channel for the rest of the week. Obviously, Monday through Friday, we've got the Ronnie show, obviously at our regularly scheduled time at 4:30 Eastern time. And I mentioned this when we first switched to doing this format, that the Monday shows might be a little bit longer in length just because, we have a 2-day break. So there's going to be more to talk about. So, but just some other news for the week. Oh wait, no, I forgot to mention the rest of the schedule. That kind of involves some of this news that we're about to talk about. As you know, Sioux City, they're back at home this week. The Muskies are. They've got 2 games against Fargo, which we'll have here Friday night and Saturday night, 7:45 Friday, 6:45 Eastern time on Saturday night. And then we're going to cover the Boston Bruins and the Philadelphia Flyers in the NHL on Saturday afternoon before that Saturday night game. Starting at 3:15 Eastern time. It'll be 2:15, obviously, here in the Central Time Zone. So, Yeah, so watch that. And obviously, we post the schedule for the week in the community tab every single week. At least I try to. I try to do that like on Sunday, but sometimes it just skips my mind and I completely forget about it. So um, I try and at least get it out before the first video of the week starts. If I can't get it out on that Sunday. Um, so yeah. But anyway, other news of the week. Kind of some good news that came out today. Obviously, we had Derek Olson. If you watch our Musketeer games, you know who he is. He got Defenseman of the Week. So yeah, I mean, he just had a big weekend. Got a couple of goals for the team, um, and obviously helped in us getting two big wins against a very good team in the East. Versus Muskegon. In fact, out of the 23 home games, Muskegon had, and they're a good home team, which is the point I'm about to make here. Going into this weekend, out of the 20, I think it's 23 games they played at home, they won 17 of them. So they're a very good team, especially at home, and we were able to. I mean, it wasn't complete domination. I'd say out of the 120 minutes we played, about 70-ish, 75-ish of those minutes, we completely controlled. But just some things momentum-wise happened, and yeah, some of those things can just get out of hand sometimes. They both ended up one goal, obviously. Friday night was 4-3, and then Saturday night we had that game on here. It was 6-5, so yeah, it's just the way it is. But because then the Musketeers posted something funny, where this year so far we've played 4 games against teams that are in Michigan, and we've won them all. We've gone 4-0, and the owner of our team, he's like a big Michigan fan, so he kind of took offense to it. Well, I don't know if he necessarily took offense to it, but I think he didn't really like the fact that we were piling on about how we've beaten, or we've won 4 games in Michigan, all of our games, undefeated in Michigan, I guess, so to say. So I just thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, I think that's it. I thought we would go on a little bit longer today, which is why we started about 15 minutes earlier than we had planned. But yeah, every single Monday, these shows will start a little earlier, just with stuff that happened over the weekend, that behind the scenes stuff we don't really talk about. Or, well, we do talk about on here. Some things get left out, as you know. So, yeah, like what happened to me on Friday night, which we won't talk about on here. So, yeah, but the rest of the week we should be on at 4:30 Eastern Time, 3:30 Central. So, yep. I don't think we should have all 5 episodes this week because we're going into our 3rd week of doing this new format, and I think we haven't had an episode. Well, we didn't have an episode on Wednesday of the first week, and then we didn't have an episode last Tuesday because I was sick. So, yeah, this is kind of like our first full week of this format. So, yeah. So thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you all, or I will see you tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.